I wanted to welcome you all to our webinar on smart traffic noise analysis for DOT projects. I'm Catherine Brill. I'm the product manager for BRYX, and I'm happy to talk to you today about one of BRYX's product offerings, newest product offerings for the transportation industry. SoundScanNX classifies traffic sounds for noise impact studies. So I'm very happy to talk to you today about AI in the transportation world and specifically how SoundScanNX can help. So with that, I think it's time to get started. Thank you. So I wanted to talk about noise in general before we get into introductions. Studies have shown that constant exposure to very high levels of noise can lead to a variety of ailments, and that it really includes the spectrum from hearing loss, heart disease, diabetes, sleeplessness, and it also goes into dementia, mental health issues, even affects children and their learning, as well as a baby's low birth weight, memory, and memory impairment. So as you can see, noise pollution is much more than just a nuisance. It's actually a very significant health risk to our overall population. So that's why we're talking to you today. We are part of KCI, which is a leading civil engineering firm. KCI has offices throughout the country, and our products team, which is a small group within the larger KCI organization, our products team focuses on developing and bringing to market advanced technology for professionals within the architecture, engineering, and construction industry. So today I'm joined by several of my KCI colleagues who will be helping and leading this webinar with me. First is Brandon Glorioso. He is KCI Environmental Planner. He's also been instrumental in helping us develop SoundScanNX. So thanks, Brandon. Also with me is Carl Keller. So he is the leader of our machine learning team within the KCI products team, and he is the original developer of SoundScan machine learning. And then finally, I'm also joined by Jay Kwan, our sales engineer. Our goals for this webinar are to explore how AI can be used to help in traffic noise analysis, talk to you more about how SoundScan NX specifically can be used to optimize audio classification that is necessary for traffic noise impact studies. Give you an overview of our BRYX platform with a specific focus on the BRYX transportation focused solutions, and then finally give you a live demo of SoundScan NX. I want to show you how easy it is to set up, how easy it is to run, and how useful the results are for traffic noise impact studies. We also want this webinar to be as interactive as possible. So please, at any time, post your questions in our QA or chat channel, and we'll get to them and address them at the end of the webinar. Okay, so to get started, turn off my camera here. Traffic noise impact studies are frequently requested by DOTs, planning commissions, homeowner associations, local transportation agencies, other organizations, and there are a variety of ways that AI can be used to improve the evaluation of traffic noise. I've listed some of them here in this slide. It runs the gamut from AI-powered sensors and IoT devices that filter out irrelevant background sounds, to AI being used to simulate noise propagation based on real-time data such as traffic conditions, weather variations, road surface, vehicle speed, and the urban structures that are around. AI can also be used to predict future noise levels through analyzing historical traffic and environmental data. So that allows planners to assess potential noise impacts before any kind of changes or construction occurs. And with AI, real-time and dynamic noise pollution visualizations can be created as well. Finally, AI can be used to distinguish traffic noise from other sounds via deep learning. And that is what we've done with SoundScanNX. We developed SoundScanNX to address the challenges of audio classification of traffic noise. SoundScanNX is a machine learning model designed to analyze sound recordings and automatically identify specific noise sources in the file. So SoundScanNX is trained to detect traffic sounds such as cars, tire squeals, modified mufflers, motorcycles, and trucks. And also it's trained to detect and classify non-traffic sounds. So that includes airplanes, birds, dogs, lawn equipment, music, and voices. SoundScan NX has been trained on a diverse set of urban audio data sets, and it generates actionable results. So SoundScan NX results make sense of that data, that monitoring data for effective mitigation strategies. And in fact, to get into more detail about the whole traffic noise impact study process, I'm going to turn it over to Brandon.
How's it going, everyone? So this slide shows how SoundScan NX fits into a typical traffic noise analysis workflow, simplifying and improving a key step in this process. So this workflow represents a generalized process for evaluating traffic noise. The process starts when you have a proposed highway project and/or traffic noise complaints. The first step is to determine if a noise analysis is even warranted. If it's not, no further action is needed. If an analysis is warranted, the next step is to measure the traffic noise levels. This is where a lot of the time is spent collecting field data. The most time-consuming and labor-intensive part of the traditional workflow is reviewing these measurements. In some cases, you have to manually listen to hours of audio to identify and separate traffic noise from other sounds like sirens, dogs, or airplanes. And this is where SoundScan NX comes in. Our accelerator technology automates this entire step. It quickly and accurately identifies and classifies every noise event by type, time, and decibel level. Once the noise measurements are reviewed and classified by SoundScan NX, you can then predict the noise levels for different scenarios and evaluate potential abatement measures. The result of this is a much faster, more accurate process that allows you to document and share findings with your client much more efficiently. And I will now pass it over to Carl.
Thanks, Brandon. So the data that we get from your sound studies actually winds up being fed as input to the SoundScan system, and internal to that system is a modern neural network that consumes not the sound files themselves, but a representation of the sound that some of you might know. They're called null frequency spectral coefficients. These individual measurements of the sound data mimic essentially what human beings hear, and they're split into two primary categories. One, the balances between low and high frequencies, and then two, the sort of increasingly fine spectral detail across the entire wave. So that forms a vector of values that actually gets fed to the neural network. The neural network has been trained against known and classified sound files so that it can recognize the classes that Catherine mentioned earlier. Those sound characteristics, of course, aren't the only ones that are available. We also generate other characteristics of the sound as a summary, such as the amplitude, peaks, etc. And these are output together with the classification and, importantly, a confidence level that tells us what the system thinks it heard in your sound files. And that's about it. It's it's a very pointed application of neural network technology. This technology has been used in other sound applications in other ways. But what's really unique, I think, about the engineering sounds that we're processing is that they tend to have a lot of things going on. It's not typically just one sound. It's lots of sounds commingled, road noise, birds, etc. Can always be found in these files. So it makes for sort of a unique challenge, I think, for the technology, but that we believe SoundScan handles well.
Thanks, Carl. So with SoundScanNX, as you can tell, that very tedious, time-consuming, labor-intensive process of listening to hours and hours of these sound recordings can now be automated with the SoundScanNX technology, saving a lot of time. This slide gives a brief overview of the value that SoundScanNX delivers, including increased accuracy to the noise classifications, a huge boost in efficiency with SoundScan's scalable and speedy data processing, reduce risks, and it frees up resources. So again, experts don't have to manually listen to audio files. Instead, they can focus on more strategic problem-solving activities. And SoundScan is offered on our BRYX platform, which is a secure, scalable cloud platform for AEC-focused professionals within our industry. BRYX is specifically designed to allow our users to easily access and use emerging technology, such as SoundScanNX, with a minimal investment on their part. BRYX offers a catalog of pre-trained models for transportation and other markets, and these models can be run directly on the BRYX platform and also integrated with third-party systems via APIs. So with BRYX, users don't have to find data to train models on or hire outside experts in machine learning, such as Carl, to develop models for them, or even build an infrastructure to run the models on. We've done all of that for you already. And another thing that I want to stress is that BRYX and SoundScanNX are products. They're not services. So instead of sending your data to a service, waiting days and days before the results are sent back to you for use, BRYX allows you to upload your data to your account directly, run that data through the model that you're interested in, and access, download, and view the model results all within the BRYX platform. Now at this point, I want to give a brief demo of go through the BRYX platform quickly and then show you how to set up SoundScanNX. So you should see BRYX at gobryx.com right now. And I had mentioned that BRYX has a catalog of these machine learning computational models. And here is the catalog. You can search for a specific industry if you're interested in it. You can also click on the details page of a specific model to get more information. Here I've clicked on SoundScanNX, and it tells you exactly what the model is trained to detect. It gives you use case information as well as required inputs and expected output. So in this case, SoundScanNX supports a variety of audio file formats and then outputs a summary report of all the various sound classifications that it detected. When you log into when you log into BRYX to use SoundScan, the first thing you're going to see is a personalized dashboard that gives you more information about the models that you have run and the data sets that you have processed within a specific time period. And then you'll see on the left-hand side of the page that there's a variety of other options for you. If you click on data sets, you can easily upload data to your BRYX account by either dragging and dropping the files or clicking the Browse File button. And then you run that data through your BRYX model, and when the model is done running, you can click on the results option here, and you'll see all of the model run results that you have, and you can click on each result to actually view the files, the generated files, as well as download them. I'm going to go back to my catalog to show you very quickly how easy it is to use SoundScanNX. So first thing you should do is click the Run Model button, and it steps you through a very intuitive wizard to step you through the process of starting your SoundScan analysis. First thing you need to do is actually select the data that you want to run through the model. In this case, I'll just select sound, select next. In this particular case, SoundScanNX doesn't have any particular parameters that I need to set in order for it to run, except for my model run name that I can use to identify my results when I click on results. Select next, review my parameters, and then I am ready to run my model. For the purposes of this demo, I had already run a SoundScanNX, a sound classification model run, and I can access the results of my model run right from my BRYX platform. So you see here are all the files that I ran through the model. If I click on them, I'll get more information about the classification, the dominant sound that was found in that file, along with the model's confidence and other sound characteristics. And on this summary tab, I have a summary of all of the sounds that were detected and the number of sounds detected in the entire data set that was processed. I'm going to hand it over to Brandon in a minute to go over our summary report that is another output file, another deliverable of SoundScanNX. Before I do, I just wanted to show this one thing here, which is Start Trial. All of our BRYX models, including SoundScanNX, come with a free trial. That means you can create a free account on BRYX, no credit card required, no commitment is asked of you, and you can run your own data through SoundScanNX or any other BRYX model to evaluate the results and see if the model works for your use case. So now I'm going to hand it back over to Brandon to talk about one of the other SoundScanNX deliverables, which is this summary report.
Thank you, Catherine. So this slide demonstrates output generated by SoundScan NX model. This is an example of a kind of summary report you get from running your audio files through SoundScan NX model. As you can see, the report is clean and easy to read. It takes all the raw data from your audio recordings and presents it in like a structured format. For example, the audio file you upload, the model automatically detects and classifies the different noise events, which is shown in the second column. And then the level shows how certain the model is about each classification. And as you can see, most of these are very high, often above 90%. Also provided in the spreadsheet is the peak duration and peak sound level for each event. This information is particularly useful when you're conducting a noise study prompted by traffic noise complaints. And I mentioned a noise study prompted by traffic noise complaints because a few years ago we were hired to conduct a traffic noise study for the city of Port St. Lucie in Florida because they were receiving a lot of complaints from the residents that there was a lot of traffic noise throughout the week, especially the weekend hours. So we were hired to do a long-term traffic noise study from Thursday evening all the way to Monday morning. And we recorded a lot of audio during that time. So we, me and another coworker of mine, we sat down for hours just listening to the audio files, trying to figure out what were these noise events that the residents were complaining about. And we noticed it was modified mufflers, it was motorcycles, and trucks. So that was around over 1,000 audio files that we listened to figure that out. So if we had SoundScan NX to do that, it would have saved us a lot of time. It would have saved SoundScan NX would have done that in minutes instead of hours of our time to manually listen to them. So I will now pass it over to Catherine. Are you taking it back over?
I think I am. Thanks,
Okay.
Brandon.
Yep.
All right, so just wanted to briefly mention that BRYX has other transportation models. So these focus on different areas of challenges in the transportation industry. For example, traffic control device detection. So that is a computer vision model that analyzes aerial imagery of roadway construction projects and then automatically detects and gets the positioning of drums, signs, barriers, cones, and other traffic control devices. Why this helps is it helps optimize the kind of manually driving through the site for MUTCD inspections. And then the second transportation focused model, well, it's the third if you count SoundScan, the third model is asphalt defect detection. That's another computer vision model that looks at images of asphalt roads and classifies the cracks, patches, and potholes that it sees. Now, this can be perfect for a municipality, a homeowners association who wants a cost-effective but data-driven solution to get an overall snapshot of the conditions of their road. Asphalt defect detection is ideal for that use case. And so with BRYX, you do have the high-performing scalable platform you need for processing your transportation-focused data. BRYX is designed to drive the business reinvention by saving time with automated analysis and review, freeing up resources, reducing costs, increasing accuracy, and BRYX pricing is flexible and designed to be affordable. There are no separate fees for number of files processed or the size of the data set processed either. So Jay, do you want to talk to us about how to get started?
Yes, so thank you for Kathleen, Brandon, and Kyle to going over what is the BRYX and what is the SoundScan and how this could be applied into your practical work. So therefore, if you really want to try it out, please go to the gobryx.com and simply create the accounts, and you can start the trial. So it is the product. It's not the service. So therefore, the user have a full control of what you want to do it with this, and you can see the result right away. So simply upload your data, and you can the model will be performing for you. If you have any questions, and that will be my jobs to helping you to make sure that you feel confidence about our solutions and get connect with the right support from our teams to educate you. So here is my email, and also I'll be also reaching out to you individually to figure out what is your current workflow and what you want to improve in your current workflow. So that being said, I really want to say thank you. And from now on, please don't be shy and ask us the questions. If you don't want to type, maybe you can raise your hand and we can unmute you. There's a questions, Kathleen.
Okay. Jamie had a question that I'm hoping Carl or Brandon can help with. Is the data broken out into the 5 categories used in the NTM model software: cars, medium trucks, large trucks, motorcycles, and buses?
I can answer that,
Thanks.
and Carl can chime in if he wants. But I don't believe it's not. It doesn't include all the 5 categories. We kind of just have it as trucks, just standard automobiles, cars, and motorcycles. So yeah, we don't classify down the trucks to medium trucks or heavy trucks.
I'm actually showing you this page that lists everything that it's trained to detect. All right, Debbie.
I believe in order to probably classify the trucks down to medium and trucks and heavy trucks, we would need to probably have like a camera set up during the monitoring as well to maybe help with that.
Understood. Thanks, Brandon.
Yep.
Another question is, I have a couple of questions. Great. All right. What were the performance metrics or the model beyond the confidence level, accuracy, and precision? And then what neural network architecture does the model use?
Yep, I can answer that. So the performance metric we track for this particular application is accuracy. So we've achieved on our training model accuracy of over 95%, which has been good. We're always looking for more data, of course, and we have a process that we use called active learning that allows us to integrate new data into the model and keep training it. So we would certainly appreciate people who would want to participate in that to help improve the model. Obviously, we only have so much of our own data. Let's see, the second question I think I saw there was, what was our neural network architecture? We use a very simple 4-level neural network. Basically, we have 40 vector inputs on the front end, and we have 12 classes on the back end of that. And we have a variety of different things, as you probably realize, that go on in the neural network to reduce overfitting and other problems that you can see there. But it was a custom built layered network. Let's see if the next one is mine or not.
The next one, thanks for answering that one, Carl. Robin says, when performing model validation in TNM, has this increased the accuracy? Also, how valuable is this for short-term measurements? That's something, Brandon, you want to address.
Yeah, so we have not looked at performing model validation based off of these results at the moment. And that's probably something, Catherine, we should probably look into. And how valuable is this for short-term measurements? I think if you can't be at the site for short-term measurements while you're monitoring, and then you have to count the traffic, it might be worth using. But for the most part, I feel like if you have like a 24-hour measurement, this would probably be very useful for like 24-hour measurements or even long-term measurements, like I mentioned about that project we worked on for the city of Port St. Lucie.
Great. And Vladimir asks, can it detect drones, helicopters, etc., aerial traffic sounds? I think we are
We
trained
do
to
have an
detect
airplane
airplanes.
class.
Yeah. So that's yes to that. Vladimir, airplanes it's detecting. Miles asks, what is the assumption for the truck output then? Multiple axles, identifying box trucks versus others with multiple axles would be of interest. Carl, is that a question for you?
Yeah, we don't differentiate between types of trucks. So,
Yeah.
and Brandon, I'm sure you can jump in on this as well, but I know that for road studies, they typically are looking at and counting the different types of trucks that are out there. Of course, we don't do that in SoundScan.
Yeah, I think having a video recording would also help with that. So that might be something we might want to look into later on down the road, is combining this with the video recording as well as the audio. So.
Okay, I think there were more people typing, so let's give it a few more minutes. All right, great. Clayton asks, what file types does BRYX accept, and what quality device is acceptable for recording noise? Here are our required inputs: MP3, OGG, and WAV files. Just there is a note that says for low volume signals, we recommend amplifying the audio files before you submit it to SoundScan. What do you think about the quality device being acceptable for that recording, Brandon? Do you have any recommendations on that?
Sorry, repeat that again, Catherine, your question.
So Clayton's asking what quality device is acceptable for actually recording the noise.
So here at KCI, we use Larson Davis 831C noise meters. That's what we use. I'm sure there's probably other noise meters out there that also record audio, but that's the noise meter that we use that records audio as you're monitoring.
Thanks for that. Got a couple more questions coming in. Debbie asks, why accuracy only? Wouldn't the model then hide false positives and negatives?
That's not exactly correct. The big problem with accuracy really is that you wind up with class imbalance. So if you have in a class, that's say 90% of the data that you have, the system tends to learn that it can get a high accuracy score by just guessing that class all the time, which we've all experienced. We actually spend quite a bit of time examining the false positives and negatives in our confusion matrices. So that's the primary mechanism that we're using to ensure that we've got class balancing. The other thing we do is we do actively balance classes, so we don't wind up with overfitting for, say, the trucks class, which tends to dominate a lot of the data, versus something more obscure like birds. Now, that's not to say that there aren't great uses for other metrics, precision, recall, even potentially the map score, as we do in the vision models, could be used as well. But this is where we are at the model at this time.
Thanks for that, Carl. All right, so I think we've come to the end of the questions and answers, and we're definitely over time. So I just want to take this time to thank everyone for joining, and please contact us Start a free trial of SoundScanNX at gobryx.com. Contact us if you have any questions. I also highly encourage you to follow BRYX on LinkedIn. We are constantly posting news about our BRYX machine learning models and other solutions that we are launching into the market. So thank you everybody for today and have a great rest of your day.